So Paul, you just said that you moved from Minnesota out to California,
Yeah.
Redding, California,
Yeah.
to really see what the healing revival with Bill Johnson was all about.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find out?
Well, I moved out there, because I just wanted to see an increase in people getting healed. That was pretty much it. I mean, 3 years and 4 months of cancer caused me to become very, very passionate about this topic. And so when I moved out there, I didn't know very many people in Minnesota at that point. Now I know a bunch more, but I didn't know very many people in Minnesota that were seeing healings happen on a consistent basis, praying for people, and maybe a handful. And when I got out to Redding, then there was a whole culture where that was so much more common and so much more prevalent. And actually, I would venture to say that's a lot closer to biblical culture, because biblical culture in the book of Acts is that it's common. You know, when it records that there was not one sick person in their midst, that's a lot of healings. The average American doesn't need one healing, they need like 10.
Yeah.
Because their eyes don't work, their back doesn't work, they got high blood pressure, high blood sugar, they take 5 medications and whatever else, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of healings.
Right.
And so I was like, I want to find out what's actually being portrayed in the Bible, and I want to live that, not what American cultural Christianity says is how it's supposed to be. Because when I stand before God someday, I'm not responsible for whether or not I followed American church culture. I'm responsible whether or not I followed Him. And so I'm a disciple of Him and not whatever's going on around me. And so I wanted to see more, because that's what I see in the Bible. And so in short order, when I was out there, I saw a tremendous increase, and it really changed everything for me. And so I started, first time I ever preached on healing, it was for a group of 16 guys, and I had prayed and fasted I don't know how many days. I was scared that nobody would get healed, and I got there. This was about 3 months after I had moved out to Redding, and prayed for the guys, and I was like, oh dear Jesus, that one of them getting healed, and half of them were healed. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is what I've always dreamed of. And so I started doing ministry a lot more. By that summer, I went from me praying for the sick to me training the body of Christ and having them pray for each other. And because really, that's what Ephesians 4 is talking about. It's the purpose of the apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, to equip God's people to do the works of service, not to run around and do all the works of service. And so we as the church have failed to understand God's heart for multiplication when it comes to that in general, I would say. I mean, obviously not everybody has, but a lot of the church has. We've got a lot of people wanting to be heroes in ministry, wanting to do it all themselves. And I'm not saying they don't have wonderful, sincere hearts for the Lord, but God intends that the gift that's on our life is multiplied. And even how we do church, sometimes we see somebody who's really gifted in a certain area, like let's say they're amazing with kids, and we think, oh, well, let's just get them doing it a whole lot. But there's always more fruit on our lives multiplying the gift that God has given to us than there is by us running around and burning ourselves out trying to use our gift as much as we can.
Leader, mentor.
Yes, exactly. And so we need multiplication mentality. And so that's what ended up shifting in my life. One of the things that ended up shifting in my life out there. And so it's been a blessing. So I did the school for 3 years. That's 11 years ago, and now I've been to 50 countries. And
I want to talk. We're gonna stop right there, because I want to talk now about that next segment.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.